world's crazy. I mean, it gets pretty complex out there. Lots of humans bumping into each other, lots of complications in our relationships. If we're not watching real close, people start to shut down. Let's talk about that for a second. Have you ever been in a situation where you've had to deal with some complicated situations in your personal life, into your interpersonal relationships, your work relationships, whatever, your kids, your spouse? You just shut down. You say, I'm not going to be able to process any of this emotion. I'm not going to deal with it. So I'm going to shove it in a box and put it on a shelf somewhere. It's a clever strategy. It's not going to work. Because the stuff in that box won't be ignored. But that's not the worst part of it. The worst part of it is by doing that, you take all of the emotion, all of the feeling capacity in you, the power to access the human spirit and how it's supposed to interact with the world, and you shove it in that box too. You can't compartmentalize just one part of a relationship and throw it in a box. When you box all that stuff up, you're boxing everything up. And that means you're shut off from the outside world. And incrementally over time, you're not going to be able to feel the way you need to feel to be successful in your life. It will affect every single relationship. Even if you do it with the smallest relationship, it will affect all of your relationships. That's baggage you don't need. So today I want you to think about this. Where in your life are you boxing stuff up and putting it on a shelf where you should just be letting it go? You could hold on to it, save it for a rainy day, like grandma or grandpa's stamp collection, or you can just let it go. Your beefs, squash them. Your baggage, ditch it. Any emotion that you've boxed up because you can't handle how to process it, don't. Just let it be. Let it pass through your life and move on to where it needs to go. That's not energy that you know how to spend, so don't freaking save it if you don't know how to spend it. Ditch that energy and move on to the next thing. Doesn't mean that those relationships are going to be perfect. You just accept that it is what it is and move on. But if you're holding on and that's sitting on the shelf behind you, you're wasting your time. Time's too precious to waste. Live every minute. You hear me? Let's go.